This week, the United States Supreme Court handed down multiple different decisions that are all just flat out terrible for the United States. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it anyway. These are terrible decisions. You know, they upheld repressive, suppressive voting laws. And then, case from California, they actually struck down a California law that forced charities to have to disclose their donors. Now, why on earth would the Supreme Court take the side of charities? And the reason, by the way, that California had passed this law forcing charities to disclose their donors was to cut down on charitable fraud, which is a very real problem. But the Supreme Court said no. Charities don't have to disclose these donors. So again, you're probably wondering why. Well, it's because a lot of these political action committees across the United States that rely on dark money are nonprofits, which means they do operate just like charities. And yes, they had been included in that California law, and therefore, Supreme Court says, nope, can't do it. Can't force them to disclose their donors. Even though money is free speech, money is also anonymous free speech, apparently, which is absolutely ridiculous. This was not a limit on how much these individuals could donate. It was not limiting their free speech in any way, which I don't believe money is free speech, but the court does, so let's talk about it in those terms. But the court said, you have the right, I guess, to anonymous free speech. We don't get to know who's paying what, who's funding which initiative, and as expected, it was a Koch organization that helped bring this lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court, the Americans for Prosperity Foundation, funded by the Kochs, along with the Thomas More Law Center from Michigan. Michigan, not California, Michigan. This was designed to strike down this law, to take it to the Supreme Court, to make sure they ruled that you do not have to disclose your dark money donors for these political action committees. This is a sad, sad day for the United States because basically what it means is that you and I don't have a voice anymore. We don't have a say. There is no transparency in American politics today, and with the Supreme Court, the 6-3 division that we have on it, which, not ironically, is how the vote split. Every conservative on that court voted to protect the dark money donors, and gee, I wonder why. But this is what it is today. We do not have a voice. If you do not have enough money to pay off a politician, to fund somebody running for office, or to hire a lobbyist, if you don't have the money to do one of those things, you don't matter in this country. You don't. You don't get your voice. You get nothing. And every time we try to not even level the playing field, but maybe just take these millionaires and billionaires down a notch, every time we try it, we get struck down by the idiots on the conservative Supreme Court. Every time. The only way to fix this is a constitutional amendment to permanently ban corporate money from our elections. Hell, at this point, I say we ban all money from elections. We create a public fund, a public trust, where each candidate gets equal money and that's all you're allowed to spend. Because until we do that, and unless we do that, millionaires, billionaires are going to continue to get more power over our elections till this country really is something that we don't even recognize anymore. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @Fair and Balanced.